Hey, gorgeous. Hello, handsome. It's your girl, Melissa Jackson, with the All in Motion podcast team, bringing you yet another new episode with one of our own, ScarCity, here to talk to you about the state of music today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy episode number 67. Let's take a listen. Hello, 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 and welcome. It's your girl Melissa here with another amazing interview with a very special guest. He is a part of the All in Motion team. He's got an amazing music group that has emerged as a rising force in artist management and talent representation. He's had a technology company for over 20 years, and we are so lucky to have him and so excited for him to share his information and his amazing energy about the music group and what it has to offer for those inspiring musicians in the future. Please welcome our very own and very special ScarCity.
Thank you, Queen. I appreciate the introduction.
Yeah, so happy to have you. So glad that you could join me today for an interview. And, we just want to hear from you because we know that you know what it is that, everyone wants to know, and especially people who are interested in having a future in music. Tell us what's going on in the music industry.
So, the buzzword right now for everybody out there is artificial intelligence. So there's a lot going on
Oh,
with
yeah.
that, just within music, but just in technology in general. Artificial intelligence is kind of making its way on the scene into all of our local apps, into our daily activities, even in, kind of like in, people that are doing workouts and everything. Is just really taking its place, smart TVs and smart world and smart life that we're
Wow.
starting to be a part of. So that's kind of what the new focus is the artificial intelligence. It's, we used to say work smarter, not harder. And now we actually have an actual example of that that's affecting our lives on a daily basis. So that's what's going on now. It's artificial intelligence, machine learning, all of the futuristic things that we all read about and saw in the movies, like,
Yeah,
RoboCop,
it's Terminator 2.
Terminator 2,
Wow.
all of those
So
movies from the 80s and 90s is coming into play now.
how does this AI affect the music group? Is it taking over our artists? Are we still going to have real musicians? And are they now the ones making all the music?
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's like a lot of deals going on right now with a lot of the major labels like Universal Music Group, Warner Music, other music labels out there as well, Sony and so on and so forth. And the main thing is just education, educating ourselves on the different types of apps that are out there. There's a ton of different apps. But basically right now, unfortunately, going to impact artists, because if I could have something do an artificial form of your voice singing and put that out
Hmm.
there and make money off of it, and the fans are loving it, and they can do like a virtual concert, why would a label spend money on an actual person that gets sick, may get pregnant, may go on
Wow.
vacation, may get sick, may get the flu? These
Like a
artificial
human.
intelligence, yeah, bots, they don't do that. So it's unfortunate what's happening. But as you know, you cannot replace what a human being can actually do, right? That emotion, the raw emotion. Like, you can emulate
Exactly.
it, but you're still emulating the actual real thing. And it's nothing like the real thing, baby.
Nothing like the real thing, baby. You think we'll ever get music like that back?
Yeah, we will. It's all a cycle. Everything goes in a circle.
Well, but here's the difference. So now that we have the AI, and it's my understanding, at least I've heard, AI is writing the songs now, right?
Oh yeah, it's been doing
Writing
that for a
music.
while.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it's actually helping the artist too, because you get a lot of artists that have writer's block when it comes to different strategies or certain cadences, or when it comes to making certain types of sounds. Like, you may have an artist, like as an example, you'll have a rapper, he knows how to rap about the streets, but he doesn't know how to do a party song. This may be able,
Okay.
you may be able to use some type of artificial intelligence app to actually write a song for that person. Most artists, they're like, oh, these things are trying to take our job. I don't want anything to do with it. They don't want to interact with it. But the AI goes deeper than just the artists themselves. It goes into the production, the audio enhancements that are out there, right? One particular app that I've used is Landar, and that's spelled Landr for anyone interested in that. It does a free mastering service. So right now, in order to get your song mastered, most high quality studios would charge you from like $75 an hour to about 150, 200 an hour to have your song mastered. You use this service and you pay whatever a month, $10 a month, and you're able to do unlimited mastering as an example. So it's going to save you money in a sense. And in other ways, it's people are afraid that their jobs will be taken.
Yeah, I bet. Do you think that maybe some of the reason that the artists are feeling that way is because it takes away from their creative ability? Just because I feel like I'm a creative. The
Right.
most important thing is to be able to create. But now
Right.
I'm giving up my creativity to this AI. Do you think that maybe that's why they are not really willing to switch?
We
Okay.
know and understand that, like, when it comes to, like I said, the nature, the human touch, there's nothing like that. But I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
I did a video for someone by the name of I Am Big Sophie on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, and she's a friend of mine, and I talked about how I got an AI copyright using a something called Amper Music, and what Amper does is it enables you to use to create tracks and lyrics of your own. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't go in and still use a program like Pro Tools or any other DAW, right? Which is like a digital audio workstation. It doesn't mean that you can't still go in and use those and create your own beats. And no, it's just saying that you have the ability to move faster, right? Think about it. Before we had cell phones, we were using regular phones, right? Like we used to call them
Right.
landlines. So
Landline.
would you give up your cell phone now with all of the capabilities? Which your cell phone in your pocket is basically a small computer. You can
Yeah.
upload your resume. You can send photos of yourself, videos of yourself. You have videos of people, family members that have passed away. Maybe if you had a dog or a cat that passed away. So I'm just saying all those memories that we don't know how to go without our phones. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that's what's going to happen with AI when people learn the capabilities of it and they learn how to help it grow. Because when you participate in artificial intelligence, what you're doing is you're increasing the artificial mind as a whole. I'll stop there because I'm sure there's some questions. That was a lot of information.
Yeah, but I feel like it's scary though, because especially from my generation, maybe not so much the younger generation. When you're younger, you go with what is. But from my generation, we did grow up on the Terminator 2, on these movies where when AI takes over, it's gonna be a doomsday. So I feel like that at least for me, I mean, I'm okay with it.
I'm just gonna say that I think a lot of that is just the fear of the unknown, but I think we'll be fine. Technology is here to increase the capability of things that we can do. They said the computer is going to take over your job, and they used to say that, a car, it's going to take over the ability to, it's going to take away jobs. I think jobs will change, but I don't think that jobs will completely be gone. I don't foresee that. I think that it's just going to change the nature of how jobs are created, right? I don't think it's going to completely replace it. We're entering a phase where now people are learning how to use the metaverse. And so the metaverse walks us into things like virtual reality and augmented reality and things like that. So imagine, like there's apps out there like Roblox, Minecraft, and things like that, virtual reality apps. And that's, imagine your music being played in that. Some people play Grand Theft Auto. You play Grand Theft Auto, you hear music in the background, right? Well, just imagine having a world where you can reach people on the other side of the planet instantaneously. And you're doing like a virtual concert as an example, and you're able to reach people in London from the US. You're able to reach someone that's in whatever continent or country, right? So
Yeah,
I
that's
think it will
amazing.
open up the market, even from somebody like, just imagine right now to where we're using things like, the Oculus or some type of virtual reality to where you're doing a massage, you're giving someone a massage virtually, but they're paying you with real money. you
Yeah,
know?
that's crazy. I haven't figured that out yet because I swear if I could give massages from here, I totally would.
Well, no, there's
But
gonna be a way to do it for sure.
I
It'll be
know,
something to think.
I know, but I'm just like, I've always said, wow, if I could just give you a massage from here, I'd love to, but you got to fly me there.
Right.
And the idea that now I don't have to fly all around the world to give my clients massage kind of excites me, but at the same time I'm like, so what is that going to do for my money? So what does that do for the artists and their money? Will they still get paid? Do you think that the industry will still be an industry that people go into so they can make tons of money, or do you think the money is going to change and maybe they will be making less money?
So let me preface it by saying this. In the early 2000s, we had the concept and development of what's referred to as Web 2. And Web 2 is the internet as we know it right now, right? Where you have major apps that are built on Web 2 platforms like Facebook starting in 2004, YouTube in 2005, Twitter in 2006. So we're after Web 2, we're going to be now in the next phase, which is Web 3. So we're going to be focusing on decentralization, blockchain technology, and enhanced user control over data and things like that. So with that said, contracts in terms of the music industry is based on what you negotiate and what you sign in the beginning. So Web3 has something called a smart contract, which is a lot different from the standard contracts that we have now. So I feel like there's more opportunity to make more money and reach a much more broader audience because you're not just dealing with the local people. Like right now, people make money doing concerts, but they have to tour the world. Imagine if you didn't have to actually physically go to, Australia, or if you didn't have to
Right.
physically go to Paris, you know what I mean, or Canada to actually do a show, but you did a virtual show, but they're interacting with you as if
Mm.
it's the real thing. And that intermediary, which is like right now, like let's say you have an avatar, but it's actually you. And if somebody could actually, like, let's say, give you a high five in that virtual reality and you felt that high five,
Mm.
right, through sensations and neurotransmitters,
Yeah.
through some type of interface. Like right now, we're speaking on a device, we're speaking on devices, and you hear me, and I hear you, and it's clear. And if we wanted to, we could turn on the video and you could see me and I could see you. 100 years ago, they
Hmm.
couldn't conceptualize that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's this future of what we're about to get into is only going to enhance our experience. That's why I said the whole thing about, oh, I want to get a massage. Well, if you could touch and they can feel, then that makes a connection. So I don't see it. I see this as something that's going to help us reach a much more broader audience, and in return, you'll be able to make more money if you negotiate it the right way.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, over time, we've always found new ways to make money. CDs, the CDs went away, the 8-track tapes went away, the cassette tapes went away, and now they make money through streaming. So I'm sure there will be another way. And I really cannot imagine being at a concert, but not physically being there. I want to believe that that human touch is always going to be important. But when you say it like, oh, well, you'll still be able to interact and it'll be like you'll be there and it'll be like the people there. You'll feel the music. That virtual reality is so real. It overtakes you. Like you really sometimes I guess don't know the difference between reality and virtual reality. So I guess we're getting to that point where we can really live in virtual reality.
Right, because think about it. When you have an experience where you're with someone, and let's say you go to a concert, right? Like you go to a Beyonce concert, 10 rows back. You don't physically touch her. You just physically see her. And
Yeah.
don't underestimate the power of technology as a whole. Because remember, Web3 is not just about music. Web3 is just the concept of the internet evolving into its third iteration. It's the third iteration of the internet as we know it. So think about Web 1, where we're like using dial-up and AOL, and in
Right.
Web 2, where we're doing things like Facebook, where, oh my God, you can actually upload a photo of yourself and put it on a site and somebody can go there and see it. Or you're on YouTube and you're a singer and you take a digital copy of yourself because you recorded yourself to a medium, and then you actually posted that to this site and millions of people around the world were able to see that. So that's a form of Web 1, Web 2, and now Web 3, where it's a virtual reality, right? Where you're singing, it's the real you, it's your real voice. It's being digitalized in a sense where now people can see you anywhere, interact with you as if it was a real person in real time.
Wow.
So I think, just think about the experience, right? And remember, you're physically gonna do. So when you think about a concert, real quick, right? If you think about a digital concert, a virtual concert, let's just say let's say it's Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is actually performing the same way she's performing on that stage, and she actually is on a stage, but she's using you're tapped in digitally, and you're able to go up to her and give her a hug digitally. So and imagine when you're able to feel that hug, or imagine when we're able to get neurotransmitters to where you can actually sense the smell of the person. Like, that's like where we're going with
Wow.
this. And it's that
Wow.
real to where it makes you really question what reality is.
Absolutely.
It's almost like an astral experience. We're on the astral plane. And so we're getting to that phase of music. I mean, we're not quite there yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's gonna be several years, but that's the direction that it's going in. So back to you, to answer your question where you asked me about, do I think people will still be able to make money and will they still be needed? Of course, because this is just emulating what the human experience, or the so-called human experience, is, with touch and feeling and thought and projection. We're just now making that in a digital format.
A lot of the things you're discussing, you are aware of also because of your technology background. So I hear a lot of that technology in there that you understand, so you can really see how that technology is going to coexist with the music in the future, which I think is really cool, having that deep background in technology. You're just so aware of things that I never would have thought of. Do
Correct.
you feel like musicians need to have that same level of understanding as far as technology?
Yes, honestly. And I'm just not going to sugarcoat that right now. I feel like people need to become more tech savvy.
Okay.
And if they don't, then what's going to end up happening is they're just going to get left behind. If you look at the kids now that are influencers, that are making money off of YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Discord, Patreon, whatever the platform is, they're making money because they understand something, or they're able to embrace something that others are not. And that's basically putting yourself out there. I think this is also another key factor in terms of the music is, and not just music, but just communication technology, is going to be the audio apps. So you have things where social audio apps, an example would be Fanbase, right? Shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Isaac Hayes III, Clubhouse, Twitter Spaces or X Spaces. When you
Mm-hmm.
have those platforms to where you're able to meet new people, go into rooms and have discussions with people, that's a form of networking. You're building business that way. You're building connections because it's all about networking, right? And this
Right.
is a way to network in a digital capacity to where you can meet people from different continents and different countries all over, different
Yeah,
languages,
it's
everything,
true.
right? There's the limitation is just the limitation we put on ourselves and we put on these
Mm-hmm.
platforms. But we have the ability to expand our market, and think about how much businesses will profit. If you're a small business owner, you can grow your business and your online presence just by being in the metaverse,
Right.
being on these digital platforms, having a platform that says to where you could have a virtual concession stand that says melissajackson.com, and it lists the services that you provide. Just think about that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's not gonna hurt your business, it's only gonna help your business.
Right. Absolutely.
And it's coming at a price to where advertising in that world, at least right now, it's very cheap. You get the bang for your buck, you get the return on investment, and you're not spending a lot.
Yeah, I guess so, because a lot of these apps that you're referring to are free.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's just that,
Exactly. Right.
yeah,
Because
the work you
you're
put
leveraging
into
the
it.
internet, your intermediary connection or your conduit is the internet. And that's why right now you can go on Instagram and you can make a phone call and you won't get charged. You can go on to Facebook and on Messenger and you can make a call and you won't get charged because you're leveraging the internet.
So it's more
Power of
important to
internet.
have the internet than it is to have phone service.
Exactly. At this day, and because remember the phone services, that's when phones are created, the original phones, that's in your Web 1 or pre-Web 1 world. Web 3 is it's a digital thing. So we're leveraging the internet, all of the fiber optics, all of the high level technology that's out there. We're leveraging that. And so it's like, why would I pay for something that I can just use another medium that's free to
Right,
access those things and do these things that we would like to do. Even with creating the creation of music, you're creating
right.
your music and you're putting it out there digitally, and you may not necessarily have to go into this multi-million dollars studio because you have all of these different apps that can do a lot of what those high technology studios can do.
And
It's
so
just
you can
about
do it
working
right at
smart.
home now.
Correct. Yeah, people have been doing it for some time.
Really amazing. Get your microphone and your headphones and
That's
soundproof
it.
room, and
Yeah.
you
A
can have your own
DAW, which
studio.
is called a digital audio workstation. And that is Pro Tools or Logic, and whatever you choose to use, Fruity Loops, and you start making your beats and you start recording yourself and you start singing your vocals, you got your microphone, and you become what's called like a 100 percenter, to where you make your own beat, you sing your own song. So therefore, you own the publishing out of that, what they call 200%, which is really 100% on each side, 100% of the master copy of your recording, and the other 100%, which is your publishing. You own the whole thing because you made the beat, you made the song, you did the lyrics, so you own everything. So you're
Mm,
if we do this right, it's going to be the best thing that's actually happened to artists and producers.
okay. So anyone who is out there and they are into music and they want to take their music to the next level, they are ready. They're like, okay, we really want to take this to the next level. What would you recommend for new artists out there?
So if they're new, I always suggest at the ScarCity Music Group, we always suggest that you get an assessment. If an artist comes to me, because one of the services I provide now is I have artists come to me and they'll just ask me, like, what do you think about the song? Do you think it will make it? Do you think I'll make money off it? What do you think I should do? Do you like the sound? Is the quality right? The first thing I think is to get your sound down pat and to
Hmm.
understand what market you're attempting to get into. Know your sound, understand that you need a crisp, clean sound. Make sure that you have a good mix and a good master of your song. It should be done in a professional studio. You should have a professional microphone. And there's a lot of steps. I suggest for people to reach out to me. And my Instagram is at Team ScarCity1 on Instagram. And I highly recommend that they get with someone like myself that is educated in this area, because it's a lot of nuances, and there's things like copyrights and then trademarks and then publishing, and is the beat that you use, do you have a license for it? Do you have full ownership of it? Did you create the beat? Did you partially create the beat? Do you have samples in the beat? There's so many factors and so many things that need to be worked out and really looked at. But to answer it in a nutshell, someone that's new, I would say learn as much as you can. Learn how to record yourself first and foremost. If you're that talented and you have that much time on your hands, learn how to make your own beats. That's a good
Right.
hobby to take up, is learn how to create the sound that you want, because
And
that's first of all, it's going to save you a ton of money,
right,
right?
right.
And second of all, no one's going to make you sound the way you make yourself, the way you want to sound, if you have that ability, unless you're paying a lot of money, right? Like you're not,
Right.
I've recorded with producers and engineers to where I'm like, I heard this person record somebody last week and he made them sound like Snoop Dogg or, you know what I mean? Or Drake
Mm.
or Kendrick Lamar. But then when I record with him or her, I don't, the quality is not there. And that's because maybe that person's paying more, they're putting more time into the mix, because the mix is when the mix is basically the equalizer. It's how the mix is the quality, it's the core and the richness of your sound. So when you hear artists and you're like, damn, this sounds good, that's
Mm-hmm.
usually the mix combined with the master copy.
Wow.
So you want that quality sound. If you can't get that quality sound, you're probably not in the right studio. So I always say, if you can, learn how to record yourself, get with somebody who can help you with direction, create the name for yourself, an image and brand for yourself, and move on from there.
And at what point should they reach out to you? Are you the first step, the middle step, the last step?
Well, I'm the owner of the ScarCity Music Group, and the ScarCity Music Group is a Web2/Web3 music group
Mm-hmm.
slash record label. So I do artist management and artist development. So I would say they should reach out to me right away,
Okay.
because even if I can't sign them to a contract, or I don't have anybody at the moment that's looking to sign anyone, what I can do is I can at least advise them and point them in the right direction. And there's going to come a time where I'll have a list of A&Rs that can really filter out the music and really vet the music out right on the spot. But right now, it's myself and a few of the team members that I've hired to do that. I would say reach out to me, because I can help them in terms of direction. I'll just be honest with you. Right now, you need to focus more on your pen game, or if you're a singer, you may need some vocal lessons. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's where the whole AI thing comes in. There's so many apps out there, right? That can help you with your sound, that can help you with melody if you have writer's block, things like that. So I would say definitely reach out to me first.
Okay. So you are step one right away.
Right
We will
away,
make
step
sure,
one. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, so
Step
so
one.
you guys heard it here first. If you are even thinking about starting a music career, or you are new to it, you've been in it for a while, you're already in the game, but maybe you need a mentor, you need some support, then you look out for ScarCity
ScarCity,
at
ScarCity
mhm,
Music Group.
ScarCity Music Group at Team ScarCity One on Instagram. And actually, you can listen to our All in Motion podcast. Go to our allinmotion.com. He's on there helping us out on the podcast side. So, is there anything else that you would like for our listeners to know before I let you go?
Just look out for the ScarCity Music Group. We're doing some great things. I'm also the owner of MetaData LLC, which is a technology company. Web3 is inevitable. It's the future. And I would just say, keep your eyes on the All in Motion podcast, because we have a lot of great interviews coming out, and a lot of things that are going to be very important for the future of business, health, mental health, even things related to music, as I'm associated with this podcast. So just look out for the All in Motion podcast. The website is allimotionpodcast.com. And that's my final thoughts.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. So grateful for you. I appreciate you. Everything that you have offered to us has been amazing. And again, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining me and the All in Motion podcast team for another episode, number 67, The State of Music Today with ScarCity. You can now find ScarCity on IG at Team ScarCity One or thescarcityshow.com. Please like and share if you have enjoyed this episode. Visit our website, allinmotionpodcast.com, to subscribe and listen to our other episodes. Remember to follow us on Instagram and your favorite podcast platform. And remember, if nobody else tells you today, I love you and you are amazing.